Hey guys, this is George Alonso from Russell City Radio and The Roman Show here at Supercon Retro in Miami. I am here with the Headlocked publisher and writer of Headlocked. How are you today, Mr. Michael Kingston?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, it's always a pleasure, sir. You and I are not strangers. I had you on a previous show I hosted of Otaku Live when we spoke about Headlocked on our show. Now we have you here on Russell City. Tell us, what has been going on with Headlocked since then?
Things have really been picking up for us. We've been gaining a lot of momentum, I think, with the convention presence that we have and on the books. Our current book that we're in the process of kickstarting has Ric Flair, Mick Foley, Cody Rhodes, and Kenny Omega contributing. So we keep attracting bigger names and building stronger partnerships and bigger partnerships, and things are gaining momentum for us.
That's amazing. And Mr. Kingston, I just have to ask you, with you having such a passion for professional wrestling and such an admiration for professional wrestling, have you ever thought about, hey, one day I want to be a manager or a referee or what have you?
Sure. I mean, who hasn't, I guess? I could get down with it. I'm probably a little too big of a human to be a manager. Maybe I could be a dopey bodyguard or something, a bumbling henchman or whatnot. But no, I love to do anything in wrestling. It's so much fun. I love to, every once in a while, guys, they let me in the locker room and I'll pitch around ideas for matches and stuff. And it's super fun and it's super gratifying that people think of me that way. But I would definitely love to do some stuff.
All right, and Mr. Kingston, of course, going back to Headlocked, very popular book in the world of professional wrestling through Kickstarter, like you were just mentioning. You've worked with the greats like Shane Helms all the way down to Kenny Omega, to even Jerry the King Lawler, a WWE Hall of Famer. Tell us, is there any person that you have not yet worked with that you would love to work with in the near future?
I would definitely love to do something with Paul Heyman. He's a genius. I met him once at San Diego Comic-Con, and he was a super interesting guy. It's super, you could just tell, like, the guy's there's something to him, just like a real, I'd say, seductive quality in a way. Like, he's an interesting cat, and I think we could probably make a really cool story.
Yeah, and speaking about stories, Headlocked is basically about a guy growing in the world of professional wrestling. Starting from the beginning to making his name as a champion. Can you tell us a little bit more, for the people watching here on video or for the people listening? Tell us a little bit more detailed on your Headlocked.
So it's a kid who's a theater major in college who sort of unexpectedly falls in love with wrestling, and he quits school, and it's his journey through the business. And we're sort of examining the craft of art or the craft of wrestling through the eyes of a performance artist, but at the same time sort of navigating like the seedy underbelly of the wrestling business. So it's sort of like an AMC style drama, but the other kind of cool thing about the book is that all the art is done by wrestlers. So Jerry the King Lawler does the covers, the interiors are done by Mikel Molopolo, who's a Samoan wrestler from New Zealand. So I love the fact that it's a story about the art of wrestling and then all the art is done by actual wrestlers.
And that's awesome. And one last question for you, Mr. Kingston. With you being around all these great wrestlers right now, like from Hall of Famers Booker T to Jake the Snake Roberts to Gangrel, have you been able to sit down and maybe even grab some more ideas for any upcoming Headlock projects?
Actually, I have, and so Booker already had contributed a piece of art to Volume 3. So I know Booker pretty well. But Gangrel surprisingly dropped a really kind of insane idea into my lap, and I can't really say too much more about it, but it's nuts, and I love it, so I think we're going to have to do something with it.
So definitely, guys, make sure you purchase that Headlock book because, like how Mr. Kingston was just saying, Gangrel pitched a very crazy idea, and in the world of professional wrestling, controversy sells. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Kingston?
Always.
All right. Well, guys, this is George from The Roman Show and Russell City Radio with Mr. Michael Kingston of Headlocked. Thank you, and keep on tuning in.